And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. I, as always, am your host, Joel, with two eyes still very much intact. If you follow me on Twitter, you heard the whole story of how I almost lost an eye at dinner.
And then you heard the real story, which I told people.
Matt being very quick on the draw. See, that's why he's my co-host, everyone, because just shooting from the hip every time.
Yeah, much like you were in that bathroom.
Dumb Tish. See, again, this is why he's the co-host with the most. Just everyone, dick joke. Can't stop me. So Matt, we're back again this week. Last week when we did this show, we were in the middle of E3. I figured it would be fun because some people do enjoy it when we occasionally veer off into video game talk. What did you like most of the show now that we've had a week to kind of stop and think about it?
Well, as people could tell from my Twitter when it happened, I really enjoyed the Resident Evil 2 reveal.
It looks really good. Like, I enjoy Resident Evil. I'm not nearly as big a fan as you are, but even I could tell, whoa, this is big.
This is big for a number of reasons, mainly because they actually rebuilt the whole game from the ground up in the new Resident Evil 7 engine. That's pretty awesome. That doesn't usually happen. People thought this was just going to be like a HD remaster, and they went above and beyond with it.
It's a from the ground up rebuild and everything. And plus, I think this is going to be huge too, because, hey, look, it's Leon, it's the dude from 4, the one that everyone has played, even if you're not a hardcore Resident Evil fan.
Yep, and hopefully it does really well so we get more games.
Yeah, I know you're like already chomping at the bit. When are they going to do Nemesis? Do Nemesis next.
It's the only one that hasn't had a HD remaster yet, and it's like that gap in the collection, because you got that. Once you get that one out, you've got like all the original games.
Yeah. Speaking of old Capcom things that are new again, hey, we're getting Resident Evil 5. Or no, we're getting, Devil May Cry 5. But hey, but that's fine because one started as a sequel to the other one and it became its own thing, so they're kind of intrinsically tied.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool as well. I haven't really played the recent one, the DMC. I haven't really played.
Oh, I did.
I played some of it, but I didn't play all of it. But yeah.
You mean the one that made Devil May Cry fans flip their wig and be like, his hair is not white, everything is wrong, I will never be joyous again. Yeah. Although, you know what? Here's the thing. I take my hat off to Capcom, because before they were complaining about that, they were complaining about Nero, the new character who was supposed to supplant Dante. Now Nero is back in this game, and everyone's like, we're so excited. We always loved Nero, right, guys? It's a new Coke Gambit is what it is. We come out with something so shitty that you'll hate, that when we just go back to the old thing that we were doing anyway, you'll love it.
Yeah, that was their plan all along.
Geniuses, every one of them, from top to bottom. I think more than anything, though, I think we can agree this year's E3 was the year of samurais and ship combat.
Yeah, there was, 3 or 4 separate samurai games, bunch of ship combat games.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have ship combat in it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I don't really care about that game, but yeah, that's looked pretty cool, that part.
That's the thing about Kingdom Hearts at this point. You are either in or you're not. And if you're not in now, you never will be, because there's only about 9 games worth of material you'll have to catch up on, which I love. They even had that at the conference where it's like, Kingdom Hearts 3 to get caught up. They're all on PlayStation 4 now. You've got a whole other year to get caught up.
Yeah.
On like 9 games and 70 spin-offs. And some MMO shit that you'll have to pay money for, but you can just look at that online.
Yeah.
Because the story really got away from us. But Matt, did you see blue-haired girl has yellow eyes now? That means something to me.
I'm sure it
means
does.
Nothing to you.
Sure
it's
it
just
does.
gibberish to you. But Norded, man, we all might be Norded in a year. Look, I know those sounds that are coming out of your mouth mean something to you, but we're gonna need a dictionary here. We're gonna need a Kingdom Hearts to English dictionary.
The eyes glaze over and everything.
Yeah, boy. But yeah, man, talk about samurai games. We had Ghosts of what is it called?
Tsushima or something. Or something.
I'm just gonna call it Ghosts of. But yeah, basically, hey, what if Red Dead Redemption but with samurais?
That's pretty much what it is.
Or another comparison I had, what if Shadow of Mordor but with samurais? To which I'm like, fucking in. Yes, take
Yeah.
my money, please.
And what's really cool as well, apparently after that reveal we got at the Sony conference, apparently that gameplay we saw, that was like a side quest for the game. So it's just
Oh
like a
shit.
fetch mission.
Damn. If that's what the side quests are like, imagine what the main game is like.
I know, right?
They also had what is it? Secco Die Twice.
Yeah, the one from Software.
Right, but also published by Activision, which they came out this week and said, yes, it looks like a Soulsborne game, but it is not an RPG. You won't have to worry about stats. It's actually much closer to the company's other game, Tenchu, which I always really loved Tenchu, so I'm glad that this is kind of like a spiritual successor to Tenchu.
Yeah, it's much more of like an action game. It's not really an RPG game, but it looks sick.
It really does. You play a samurai man who's got like a bone replacement arm that's also a fucking grappling hook.
And an axe.
Yeah, an axe that just comes in. And a shield, which was always my thing. They're like, yeah, how come they don't do like more of an Asian samurai base for like a From Software game? Because they didn't really have shields in their culture. They do now. They got badass umbrella shields. Fuck yeah. To which people joked where it's like, hey, it's okay, makers of Neo. You don't have to make another Neo. From Software already did it for you. And then Neo 2 got announced.
Yeah, that was kind of a kind of surprised me because I've played a little bit of the first Neo. I own it, but I haven't really gotten into it yet because it's been too busy. But when I saw the trailer, I'm thinking, oh, is this something to do with like Legacy of Kain or something? And it's like, oh, Neo 2, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
You guys didn't wait very long to do a sequel to Neo, did you?
It was Neo successful?
I mean, I think people who like Dark Souls enjoyed trying it out and comparing it. Like, I think there's definitely a void for that where it's like, okay, what do I play that's like Dark Souls in between Dark Souls sequels?
Yeah. Oh, Neo.
There you go. This'll do the trick. That'll move the chains. What else was there? Oh, we got a better look at Anthem this year, the new thing from BioWare. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I left saying they're like, oh, so better Destiny is what this is.
I didn't even bother looking at the trailer because after the shit show that was Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm not interested in BioWare anymore.
It looks like better Destiny, which, I never liked Destiny. I was the one guy who's like, I don't see what all the hubbub is about. But more interesting characters, more interesting powers. The promise of BioWare's A-Team writing on it, I'm like, you know what, this could potentially be something. Although I think it's so funny that so many games this year, it's like, let's be a better Destiny, when so many other games, the curve has already moved to be, let's be a better Fortnite.
Yeah, every other game had like a battle royale mode or was introducing something along that lines to the series.
I know I thought that's what Fallout 76 was going to be. I'm like, oh, is this going to be Fallout but battle royale? Kind of. You can do quests, but it's also all going to be online, and you can do it with your friends. And honestly, I wanted to be bitter about it, but the promise of a better Fallout 4 I can play with you, yeah, all right.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm just interested to see how Bethesda will handle it. See, I own Elder Scrolls Online, and I haven't played much of it, but it's okay. But the thing that I don't really like is that it's a really like a pay-to-play sort of game, and I hope that's not what Fallout 76 will be.
It doesn't look to be. Like, I was afraid of that too. I'm like, oh, is this going to be the Fallout MMO? It kind of splits the difference between it because it is always going to be online, but you can play with people, and it takes place at an interesting time in the Fallout timeline. What got me about it is, I'm sure you saw it too in the little gameplay snippet, you can have a musket. You can shoot a guy's arm off with a musket.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool. The one thing that did concern me though was like the nukes. You can like nuke other players, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna get spammed. I know it.
That looks like you're creating a perma-grief mode is what you're creating there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, game developers, but if you play with enough people online, it's basically Westworld, where everyone is the man in black and all their worst impulses come out to rape and murder and steal.
Really?
Yeah, everyone becomes that guy online. That's the problem. No, no, which again, you know who really needs to learn that lesson? Ubisoft, who for 3 years in a row now, hey, we got all our famous voice actor friends together to play online, and it'll be just like this.
Everyone tells them to stop doing that, and they just keep. They were the only ones this year that did it. I think.
Yep.
I think them. Maybe EA might have did it. I don't know.
Well, they invented it. They invented it. They mastered it, and they refused to stop.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep thinking that's a good idea, but yeah.
It's like, who is this for? The hardcore fans who are watching this right now, who know video games, who eat, sleep, and breathe it, don't buy this bullshit. And the, like more casual fans, they're not watching E3.
No.
So who is this for? Also, I'm kind of pissed off too, because no Aisha Taylor this year. I like her a whole lot. If anything, keep her, get rid of the fake game chat. That's how Joel would do it if he could run it.
I'm disappointed for her, mainly because we won't get any of those great cringe compilations of all the shit she says.
Exactly. Hate her, or love to hate her. She was great. Plus, she's Lana on Archer, and I like her very much. What else was there from the show before we do actually have comic news, everyone? We just wanted to talk this out because E3 comes but once a year.
Spider-Man looks pretty cool. We already know it's going to look pretty cool.
Oh, hey, speaking of, that actually segues into a piece of comic news. Remember we were talking about Spidergeddon last week? They had the poster, but one Spider-Man was blocked out.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's the video game Spider-Man. He will be making a canon appearance in Spidergeddon, which will be his first thing in the comics, and that's a really smart idea.
And that's really cool as well, because now the games are technically canon.
Yes, that's good marketing for both the game and the comic event, where it's like, look, if you like either, you should check out the other one.
When does the comic event start?
Oh, around the same time as the game.
I thought it might.
Yeah, so there you go. So they lined that one up pretty solid. So good on Christos Gage, good on Marvel Multimedia. If you're gonna do it, at least do it right like this. At least do fun stuff.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm interested to see. I wonder if it's gonna be like a cameo, like he's just there in the background, or whether he's actually gonna be like have a speaking role in the comic.
Yeah, buy my game.
That's all it is.
Hey, everybody, put down this comic and go play my game. Hey, you don't like this white spider suit? Neither do I. You can get new spider suits. Actually, that was a fun thing they dropped about that new Spider-Man game. Them saying, hey, if you don't like this white spider suit, guess what? You actually start off with like the Lee Ditko suit in the beginning for the tutorial. Then you move up to that one. Then you can pick any costume you want.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be like that.
I dig that. I like that through the game you'll see the evolution of his costume.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Was that it? Was that it from E3? It was admittedly not a huge E3. Like, there was some big announcements here and there, but there was no oh fuck, new God of War, oh fuck, new Grand Theft Auto. There was Cyberpunk, which we were waiting for forever, and it looks great, but we didn't get to see any gameplay from it.
No, all that gameplay footage was behind closed doors, but it sounds really good, apparently.
It does. It really does, where it's like, hey, did you love The Witcher? Of course you did. Imagine more of that, but in the future and with guns.
And first person.
And I'm like, all right. Oh, and also you can design your character any way you want. All right.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm cool with that.
Keep speaking my language, CD Projekt Red. Even the reveal for it was pretty sweet too, where it's like, ooh, they hacked the system, they took over, and you see Red CD. I'm like, it's CD Projekt Red. I know what that means. Run cyberpunk.exe. Nice. Nice. Everything about that was nice. So yeah, that was E3 talk, everyone. If you only care about comics and don't give a shit about video games, I apologize. We'll talk about comic books now. Actually, hey, speaking of comic books and video games, no word on Square Enix's Avengers project that they were supposedly working on.
I've heard rumors that apparently the original idea got scrapped again, and they're redoing it. Though I reckon they might, because in some of the demos of the Spider-Man game, we can see the Avengers Tower in there.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe they're waiting to see how that game does, and they'll be like, oh, it's now set in this universe.
That was the big rumor, where it's like, could this be the beginning of a shared video game universe, which I think you and I kind of laughed off initially, because it's like, it takes video games how long to come out? to work on. Now they have to be in the same universe with different teams. Nah, that's not going to happen. But apparently that's the way of the future, so maybe it's not silly.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's not silly. And hey, speaking of shared universe and multimedia projects and everything, we got something kind of cool and unexpected this week. And in fact, I didn't even really know it was news because I kept looking over it because I thought it was like a fan edit or something where it's like, oh, look, I'll make it better. But we got to see Wonder Woman's new costume for Wonder Woman 2, and it looks really, really good.
It's the same costume, just under lighting.
Just under actual lighting. I'm like, holy shit. What a difference that makes. It looks goddamn brand new.
But the thing is, it doesn't make any sense to me in the context, because these movies take place before Batman vs. Superman, Justice League.
Yes.
And this is the same costume, so why does it look like different? And they're people say, oh, it's because the copper on it is oxidizing. Thing. It doesn't take 20 years for that to happen. It takes a little bit longer for that to happen.
So Wonder Woman gets an original costume, wears it for all this time, changes it in the 80s, then changes back to her old one.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes no sense. I'm just going to subscribe to the fact that those movies aren't canon anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing with Wonder Woman anyway. Look, you liked Wonder Woman, then it's the only one that counts.
Well, it makes you can tell they definitely know people like Wonder Woman because she got promotional stills and everything on the first day of their shoot, and before Shazam and Aquaman, which have just finished productions. Yes.
And fans and creators alike basically had to yell at them to be like, can we see some things from Aquaman, please?
Yeah, and they're like, fine, yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Here he is. Here's Black Manta. Here's a Black Manta looking at a helmet.
But yeah, the costume looks really good. We also got pictures of Steve Trevor and everything, which doesn't make any sense. And it is Steve Trevor since Patty Jenkins confirmed it.
It's not an illusion. It's not bullshit. It's not I'm seeing him in my mind's eye.
Yeah, it's not a relative or anything a la Sharon Carter or anything. So that kind of undercuts the end of the first film.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. As you said, Matt, that kind of undercuts a huge part of the first movie. I can understand wanting to have him back. I can understand liking him. I can understand doing any number of things, but really just bringing him back.
Yeah, and if you knew you're probably going to be bringing him back, why kill him off in the first film?
Do you think it's going to be like a Winter Soldier thing where it's he got blown up, but the Germans took him in and filled him full of magic juice that kept him alive, a la the Winter Soldier, and now he's back again, but what's in him is unstable and he might die again or something?
I mean, maybe it's possible, but in set videos and pictures, it's him and Wonder Woman working together doing something. So I don't know.
What if this becomes a trend for the Wonder Woman movies? Steve Trevor dies in every movie.
That'd actually be pretty cool. A pretty cool character reverse. You just can't seem to get it right, and he just keeps dying on it.
It would really add to the tragedy of Wonder Woman. I've loved the same man for so many years. He keeps coming back to life, but keeps dying.
So they basically turn him into Carter Hall.
They turn him into Carter Hall. Yeah, I would be okay with that. That would be an interesting characterization for Steve Trevor, who, as we mentioned, doesn't actually have much in the way of characterization, and the best thing he really does is die.
Yeah, die or become integral and then not become integral, a la, Trinity of Sin and all that sort of stuff.
I actually thought he was one of the things that the Wonder Woman movie handled pretty well, where it's okay, you serve this very specific role. You do that, then you gracefully exit the series. Also, by making him the comedy relief and making him, the love interest that needed to be saved. I'm that's an interesting subversion. It's you mashed a bunch of other characters that would seem superfluous together and kind of made more of a character out of them. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's Wonder Woman for you there. Looking good. I'm excited for it. As I've said before, Wonder Woman was the good one.
Yeah. Just hope this one they can fix the ending.
Fix that last act problem. Here's hoping they take that to mind, and here's hoping they fix that problem. I think they will. I think where it's if you came so close and that was the one thing you got wrong, I think they can clean it up.
Yeah.
I guess we got some Aquaman stuff too, as we said, but there's much less to talk about in that.
It was just like pictures and stuff.
Yeah, Jason Momoa, he's wet and angry.
Yeah, as I said on Twitter, like he's literally wearing Lobo's costume. He's literally Lobo. Why did they cast him as Aquaman and not Lobo? Like, who was?
They're kicking themselves.
Like, why?
Which, hey, for the record, Wet and Angry was gonna be the subtitle of this movie, Aquaman Wet and Angry, but they had to change it. Turns out there's actually a series of very popular porn films that are also called Wet and Angry, so they didn't want to go to, they didn't want a whole lawsuit with those people. So they just changed it to Aquaman minus subtitle.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from there, we got some more DC news here. DC Black Label is growing bigger than we ever thought possible, Matt. We talked about all the brand new titles they got coming out here, these kind of more prestige, R-rated, more adult-centric stories. Well, it's posthumously absorbing White Knight into it. So the next time you see White Knight, it will actually carry the Black Label sticker on it.
Yeah, as I said when it came out, Black Label is now basically the Elseworlds title. Again, it's basically like a rebranded Elseworlds.
But it's even bigger than that. Hey, the next time you buy, All-Star Superman or Kingdom Come, they will also now be carrying the Black Label banner on it.
Again, they're Elseworlds titles.
Yep. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that speaks a lot to how hyped people are already for the potential Black Label titles, that they're just like, no, go back and pick these other books and slap Black Label on them, and then we can put them out and make people think they're brand new.
Yeah, we can put out another volume of it.
Yeah, we can sell Dark Knight Returns again.
Yeah, we'll do it for Dark Knight 3. We'll get even more money than we got before.
It never has to stop. We can just keep doing it. Which, again, it makes sense, for maybe Elseworld books that maybe want to, push the envelope a little bit more, that, were a little bit more high-minded. I'm surprised that they didn't go to any of the other writers they have working on this one, like Brian Azzarello, and be like, hey, can you re-release Batman Europa so more people will read it this time?
Yeah. It might. That could be wave 2.
Yeah, exactly. Wave 2 of re-releases. Hey, can I start that petition here? Batman Europa. More people should read it. If it had Black Label on it, I think it would have done better. It's an Azzarello Batman story I genuinely like.
Yeah, and that's a rarity these days.
These days it is. He used to hit much harder than he does now. Now it's kind of like, God damn it, Brian Azzarello. Where before it was, God damn it, Brian Azzarello. Now it's, God damn it. You see, it's the same sentiment, but it changed a little bit, a little less excited over the years. But yeah, good on Black Label. I'm sure we'll have the first original titles from that coming out soon that we can talk about. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled to both mine and Matt's channel for when that happens.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Now, we got some big Crisis news, Matt. We talked about it. We theorized it. We said there was a new Crisis incoming, and there is. But I don't think any of us could have imagined that a Crisis would look like this. It's going to be written by Tom King, and it's going to be called Heroes in Crisis.
So we can already kind of write it off since it's been written by Tom King.
I mean, I can hear the elevator pitch now, and the elevator pitch was, hey, what if we do Identity Crisis again, but for 2018, and we'll put Tom King on it. And they're like, well, Tom King can do no wrong, obviously, so of course.
Yes, his Batman book has been flawless. Flawless, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely flawless. Then they bang the table in the elevator, which is also there. It's a weird place, the DC offices, I tell you. Just judging by the cover, you can see some recurring motifs there. You have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Booster Gold, Poison Ivy, who Tom King character assassin, grew.
I don't think it's Poison Ivy. I think it's Harley Quinn.
Right, okay, but again, what I was referring to is Sanctuary, because he kept talking about Sanctuary. Apparently this book is Sanctuary.
Yeah, and in the little pitch that they released for it, they say like Sanctuary's been around for years, and it's been only Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman really know about it. Other people know about it, but they're not allowed to talk about it. And
it's like Fight Club.
Yeah, but it's been around for years, and we only just heard about it in like the last 3 months.
Yeah, that Tom King has really been pushing for. I thought it was going to be a new spin-off book, but no, apparently it's a whole Crisis series. Another motif that makes a comeback, Psycho Pirate's Mask, which was a big part of early Tom King Batman, and then it fell off the face of the earth after the button, and no one talked about it ever again.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make me like. Why has this been around for years? But like Psycho Pirate happened a couple of months ago, like
something like that,
like probably a year ago. So like, if this has been around for years, then what's the timeline here? And also, why do these three big heroes, think that using Psycho Pirate's mind, which I'm guessing they're using the mask to help these people in this sanctuary? Possibly. Why do they think that's a good idea?
I don't. Again,
that's a Tom King idea. That's a Tom King idea.
It's a very Tom King idea. Also, too, again, you were talking about the timeline. Clearly, this takes place in the future because Superman's wearing his new costume and Batman is wearing a new costume.
Yeah, like current time for Superman. Yeah. But I'm guessing like Batman gets a new one after the wedding or something.
I guess. I mean, it would line up, wouldn't it, to be more in line with Doomsday Clock? Which, hey, speaking of Doomsday Clock, again, remember when the button and the mask like interacted together and took you to the Flashpoint universe? But then Jeff Johns is like, no, give me back. Give me all of that back. Only for Jeff, only for Doomsday Clock.
Yeah. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Like, remember when we thought the mask was integral to what was going on in Doomsday Clock?
It seemed and like Dr.
it. Manhattan. It really did.
Like the mask, like Batman was going to put it on or something and figure out everything or something was going to happen like that.
Yeah, that felt like a Jeff Johns mandate where he's like, no, only for me.
Yeah, I don't know what they plan on doing with this, but yeah, Tom King's writing it, so it's a write-off.
There's also like a lot of rumor flying around. Like when I heard there was a new Crisis coming out, it also came with the rumor that Booster Gold would be involved, which obviously he is because Tom King, broke his brain for basically no reason.
Yeah, for this story, I guarantee you.
You're right, Matt. It wasn't for no reason. He broke his brain solely so he could take part in this story, which makes me think this rumor is going to be true. Heroes in Crisis is going to involve time travel.
Yeah.
Because Booster Gold is there. And through these time travel, like Psycho Pirate's mass machinations, they're going to maybe try and fix some of the leftover New 52 stuff they broke that they haven't been able to fix yet.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen. So we know Sanctuary is like some clinic that helps heroes or whatever, and we the story starts with like all the people in the clinic die, and they don't know how. I reckon Booster Gold's going to go back in time because when he's written by Tom King, he's a fucking idiot and forgets there's consequences for time travel. He's a
dangerous idiot.
I'm gonna go save all these people. I'm gonna time travel back and stop that. And then somehow he fucks something up. Skeets gets shot or something. I don't know. And yeah, he has to like right the wrongs in the past and fix the New 52 shit and all that. And then we'll get whatever comes out of this, whatever bowel movement comes out of this.
But hey, at least it's going to be short, though, at only like 5 issues.
Is it having tie-ins? Because the tie-ins will be really good.
It might possibly have tie-ins. I mean, if it's going to be...
Are they written by Tim Seeley? Are they going to be written by Tim Seeley?
I hope so. I mean, hey, here's the thing. If they're slapping Crisis on it, which moves books because it's a huge thing in the DC universe and fans like us know what that means, then yeah, I don't doubt there will be tie-ins.
Yes, because they'll be good. They'll be really good.
Expect some pretty good tie-ins from this one, everybody.
Expect that to be where all the story is.
Where all the actual storyline is, yeah, for real. We'll get to that when we talk about what we read this week. But yeah, keeping up with this big DC Warner Brothers news, AT&T finalized their buyout of Warner Brothers this week.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means for DC, but yeah.
That's exactly what it is, Matt. What does this mean? Right now, nothing. The ink is still drying. The wheels are still in motion. What could it possibly mean down the line? Oh, anything.
Yeah, really, anything. If the bosses come in and decide, no, we want to take control of the DC movies and do this, and this, or the comics or the animation or something. Hey, maybe we'll get good quality animation now.
We can dream, Matt. That would be pretty sweet to then be like, what the hell are you doing over here?
Yeah, here's some extra money.
Yeah, please make these like they used to be. Yeah, I mean, again, it could mean anything. There's been a lot of theorizing too that this deal, people basically saw the writing on the wall, which is why Jeff Johns stepped down as president of DC Comics just recently to go pursue his own endeavors, which again, we don't know this. This is all theorization. This is all up in the air. Warner Brothers Films, they moved around a couple heads there. Dan DiDio and Jim Lee went from like co-publishers to like full-time publishers now, like full-on publishers.
Yeah.
So again, like there already kind of seems to be like, some guard changing and some stuff getting shuffled around. Again, nothing too catastrophic, nothing too huge yet, but give it a year.
Yeah, also isn't like Comcast trying to like buy Fox as well?
They're trying to. They keep putting in offers. Like I think their last offer was something like, like 650 million in cash, like some ridiculous fucking amount of money that you and I will never accrue, and no one listening to this will ever accrue because it's all fucking in the ether and everything because no one actually has that much money.
Yeah, and again, like that could like jeopardize what Disney want to do and them buying Fox and then them getting like the rights to like X-Men and whatever else and everything. So it's very interesting. I know a lot of people are angry, and rightly so, because of it's basically like monopolization of like companies and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's the future we're living in. We're like 10 years from now, everything's going to be owned by the same 5 companies.
There's going to be like 3 companies that own everything.
Yeah, what was interesting about the AT&T deal is that, the orange shit goblin in chief had a problem with this one apparently, but as with everything, he failed to get anything done. Like the AT&T deal was more interesting, where it's like, oh fuck, an actual like world leader might step in and stop this because one rich guy pissed off another rich guy and hurt his dick, so something might happen here. I don't know, but
no, he'll just go salute North Korean generals.
He was busy doing that at the time, so he couldn't step in and do it. But he'll just complain about Amazon
and telling Japan he's going to send them 25 million Mexicans.
Japan, thank you.
He said that. He said that. It was like a vague threat, and everyone's like, "What?"
Japan, what do you say to that? Do you know apparently there's like a big deal, like Asian countries like have to hire like special interpreters because they legitimately don't understand how a person could talk like this. They're like, we do not get his sense of humor. What is he trying to impart with us here? Oh no, he is just an idiot. Oh, okay. You see, we have too much self-respect and do not ever consider a possibility that a man like this could become a leader. Oh, okay. He is just an idiot. All right. We were worried for a second. But yeah, it's a crazy time in comics for buyouts and everything in big companies. You mentioned the Comcast thing. I think Comcast, that's just a lot of saber rattling. I think given what we've already seen in Marvel and Disney, they're basically going ahead like the deal has been finalized anyway.
It looks like it, yeah.
I think it's a safe bet that everyone just kind of hates Comcast on principle. I don't know. We don't have Comcast cable where I am. I've never had to use it, but everyone I know who uses it only tells horror stories.
I'd love if for like some like horrible reason it didn't go through, then suddenly, we've got to run an event to like kill off the mutants again.
Yeah, really? Do we say death of Inhumans? The resurrection of the Inhumans, which also leads to the death of mutants. Also, the Fantastic Four, the first family, a black hole opens up and sucks them all up, and they're never seen again.
Yeah, just as they're coming out into the 616 universe, they get eaten again by a giant wormhole.
But Doctor Doom's a good guy again now.
And he always was.
And he always was. Did I say I was going to be a bad guy? I mean, no. I mean, good guy. Yeah, good guy Doom. That's another thing we'll talk about this week, good guy Doom, and how he actually got a better send-off in another book than he got in his own book. But yeah, so that was that news, everyone. Some more Marvel news, and this one was really unexpected. Iceman is getting a new solo series now, and so is the Unstoppable Wasp.
Yeah, I can understand Wasp because she's got a movie coming out, but Iceman, exactly. I'm like, who is that for?
Apparently Iceman is just an incredibly popular X-Men who they feel very strongly about. I don't think this is the young Bobby Drake. I think this is the other Bobby Drake, because it has to be, because extermination is happening and that other Bobby Drake might not even be around anymore.
Yeah. Cool, I guess. Is it written by the same people who wrote the other one?
No, it's the whole new writer.
Okay.
Which is also kind of weird, where it's like, new Iceman book. Again, this is the sort of thing where I'm like, look, guys, if you really wanted to do this, and I'm not saying you shouldn't want to do this should be a digital exclusive thing is what this should be. This, like Cloak and Dagger, if there's an audience for it, if it's niche enough, if you have enough faith in it, and I mean, it's an X-Men related book, so why shouldn't you? This should be like a Comixology exclusive is what it should be. You have to go there and get it. And because it's digital, you can do the Injustice thing. It's a little shorter, but it comes out more frequently and cheaper.
Yeah, every week, and then like every 4 weeks you get the collected issue or something. Yeah. But yeah, like who is this for? Because it can't be for fans of the previous one, because it'll be a different Bobby Drake. That means different characterization, because wasn't one of them didn't one of them come out gay but the other one wasn't, or something?
Yes. Young one.
Yes.
The young one came out as gay, although they fucking bungled his coming out of the closet really bad. He didn't get to do it. Jean Grey read his mind and forcibly outed him. What a bitch.
Well, not only that, Jean Grey like kind of pressured him to, like, no, you're gay. You have to be gay.
That was rough on him. That's, again, where it's like, Jesus Christ, writers, have you ever met a gay person? That's unfortunate.
You have like all these, like, he's basically a different character.
Yeah, which is fine, where it's like, you know what, look, if that's what you were going to do for the young time-traveling X-Men, it's what you should have done anyway. And for a second there, it seems like they were doing that, where it's like, yeah, they're young, but they're also different characters, because Beast got more into magic, and Cyclops went out into space, and Jean was trying to not be her other Jean, and just the whole fucking time-traveling X-Men thing is a goddamn mess from top to bottom.
Yeah, thanks, Bendis.
Yeah, thank you, Bendis, for leaving with it. But again, extermination, so they're probably going to be putting it back soon anyway.
Yeah.
But whatever. Hey, new Iceman book. If you're a big Bobby Drake fan, if you care, that's there for you if you want to check that one out. I know not many people are talking about this, so, you know, don't say we never use this show to signal boost.
Yeah, well, I don't even think like they like announced it like fully. I think they just like, no. Iceman book.
Yeah, this an unstoppable.
They DM'd that one fan.
Yeah, really, they did. But that one fan was really happy, though, and good for them. Yeah, there was just a couple books that they just kind of snuck in there. It's like, and a new Wasp and a new Iceman book also coming out at some point in the future.
The Wasp one makes sense since she's got a movie coming out, and there's like an Ant-Man and the Wasp book happening at the moment, which is pretty good.
Even though it's a completely different Wasp than the one in the movie, though, which will only serve to confuse people.
Yeah.
Nadia Phim? Who's Nadia Phim? I wanted to read about Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne doesn't exist, at least not in this universe. There's been several Wasps, and she hasn't been any of them. But Janet's going to be a big deal, too, apparently, in Iron Man, because apparently Janet and Tony are going to be dating now.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
It's crazy, but it also kind of makes sense, where it's like, oh, yeah, you're super smart like the guy I fell in love with, Hank Pym. And you're kind of an asshole, but I don't think you'll hit me kind of asshole. You'll drink yourself into a stupor, say something mean, and maybe wet yourself or start a civil war, but you won't hit me, though. Gets to the point where it's like, fuck, Janet, I think you have a bad taste in men, honestly. I mean, Tony no me gusta.
Oh, God.
But still, that should be fun. That comes out this week, actually. Slott's new Iron Man.
Very, very excited for it. Did you see, like, I was complaining on Twitter about, like, all the Batman issue 50 covers that are coming out. There's something like 50 odd covers. They did the same for this one. They have a cover for every armor he's ever worn. But the thing is, right, that the base cover is the same. That picture of Tony Stark done by, I can't remember what the artist was. And all they've done is basically just photoshopped, like, a picture of, like, one of the armors on it, and I was like looking through it when I was like buying comps. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's lazy.
That's like, come on. If you're gonna do a celebration of all of his different armors, and he's had many, and they're all great. I like the Heartbreak armor myself, or the Heart Attack armor. Right there, at least do something different with it.
Yeah, it was very cheap, and I'm like, they're just in it for the cash grab.
Dun, dun, that's unfortunate, but yeah, everyone. That's the news of the week. Not a heck of a lot was going on, but some interesting stuff there happening nonetheless. Some food for thought. I guess with that, we can hop on over into what we read this week.
Definitely.
It was either going to be that or talk about Incredibles 2. I saw it, Matt didn't.
I haven't seen it, but as Joel has said, it's probably good I haven't seen it.
You didn't miss much. The funny thing about it is they're like, yeah, Brad Bird's talking. They're like, oh, yeah, this was the movie 14 years in the making. I'm like, if it was 14 years in the making, why did I feel like this is a script you've had sitting in your sock drawer since the first one?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's just basically like nostalgia bait with
like
a little bit of new stuff tacked on at the end.
It's like, here's the thing. It's not bad. It's fine. I had a fine time going to see it, but I would have had just as fine a time seeing it on DVD. I will say, though, the little short film that comes on before, because every Pixar film has a little short, this one was called Bao. It's the first time they've ever had a short directed by a woman. She's Chinese and from Toronto, Canada, and it's about a mother who takes care of a little dumpling baby, and it's fucking adorable, and I love it. And the dumpling boy grows up, and I shit you not, dumpling boy looks just like me. Like, literally down to the flannel shirt and the little chin beard, and I'm like, oh my god, I am dumpling boy. This movie was made for me. I am dumpling boy.
Maybe she saw you on like the street and say, oh, look, it's dumpling boy.
Look, dumpling boy, you are a dumpling boy. I'm going to make something out of you. And then just started drawing and writing, and years later, and then I saw it and I cried because it was so beautiful. No, but seriously, jokes aside, Bao was actually really good. It's a really short story with no dialogue about overprotective immigrant parents, and it really struck a chord with me, and the audience really loved it that I saw. So there you go. So see The Incredibles if you have to, but very much support Dumpling Boy is what I'm saying.
He's going to be big at the box office.
Dumpling Boy, bigger than anything. I want the Dumpling Boy cinematic universe. But yeah, so I'll let you go first this week, Matt. What did you read that you enjoyed?
I'm still reading stuff.
Me too, actually.
We'll start with a new Marvel #1, and that's Thor issue 1.
Yeah, what a great way to start this off. If you were ever worried that Jason Aaron might be slowing down in his 6-year Thor run, think again, because he's still got shit.
Yeah, he's still coming in strong, and this was a great book for someone like me who kind of fell off Thor and kind of caught up and then getting back on in this. But it's also a great book for like new beginners. New you need to know a little bit, but like you could probably get along with just reading this issue.
It's a pretty solid jumping on point, which again, after 6 years, is pretty goddamn impressive that he can actually build a status quo and be like, no, you can start here.
Yeah. Really good. We kind of sort of got an answer to like this new hammer Thor has, in that it's like a hammer that will allow him to just fly, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not like proper Mjolnir. It's made out of like Fork's Uru.
Yeah, he's trying to get a new hammer in the dwarves. His buddy Screwbeard, who was his friend in the League of Worlds, I don't know if you read that story, but they had adventures together. He's trying to forge him a new hammer. The problem is there's no fucking Uru metal, so everything he has breaks way too easily.
Yeah, everything's made of like inferior Uru, and it has to be have spells put on by Odin and everything to make it like fly or like conjure lightning or something.
Which I like that. I'm like, that's really smart, actually. It's like he's Thor, but he's a lesser version of Thor, and he needs to fight and work to get back to where he used to be. It's like a Rocky movie. He's got to get the eye of the tiger back.
Yeah, he's just not getting Mjolnir back and everything. Although, like, the future part of this book kind of spoils him getting Mjolnir back.
He got it.
We don't know how, but he got it.
But again, hey, that's a nice thing to work up to. Man, a lot of people they were telling me they didn't like Mike Del Mundo's art. I've always loved Mike Del Mundo's art. I think he's great on this.
Yeah, he's perfect for Thor. I like his colors and everything are like weird and wonderful, for especially like in that fight with like Juggernaut. That was really cool.
Man, they make Juggernaut a threat again in this book for a minute.
Yeah, they give him the power of Sidorak again.
Which is really cool. And I'm like, did that happen in an X-Men book? I feel like that happened in an X-Men book that I didn't read.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Jason Aaron is a huge X-Men fan because he continually makes reference to X-Men stuff in this. Look, hey, you may all have forgotten about X-Men, but Jason Aaron did not forget about X-Men.
Yeah, but it was a really cool book, and Yeah, it's Thor, I guess, trying to look. He's kind of in this issue. He's kind of like a what is it, like an Indiana Jones type. He's like hunting down old weapons and relics for Jane Foster, who's like kind of like his oracle.
Yeah, she's become the man in the chair now, which I like. That's a nice transition to look. I'm going through chemo. I'm trying to get better. I'm not Thor anymore, but that still doesn't mean I'm not going to help.
Yeah, and she's given him all these places where all these weapons and artifacts are, and I like that. Like I said, what I was reading, I'm like, oh, where's he gonna store all these weapons? Is it gonna be old Midgard? Is it gonna be old Asgard?
Microverse.
Yeah, it's just a houseboat in New Jersey.
A houseboat in New Jersey. What an absolute boy Thor is. Just throwing them all on. It's like, no, it's fine. My demon dog is watching them, and my goat.
Yeah, and then Loki shows up for with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Loki betrays him.
Loki is in such an interesting place in Marvel Universe right now. He's the villain in the first arc of the Avengers. He's one of the villains in Infinity. And here he's kind of doing the gray morality thing where it's like, look, yeah, I'm your villain, but I'm still going to help you because we're Asgardians and I love Mom and everything. And I don't really like the Dark Council and everything, but, I'll help you out. And Thor's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where, like, this takes place in relation to those two other events. Yeah. Is it after? Is it before? It'd have to be around the same time as Avengers.
Yeah.
And Thor's not in Infinity Countdown, as far as we know.
Not yet. We haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole timeline is kind of interesting at this point. And also, Aaron basically, kind of throws down the gauntlet and says, hey, this first arc is all going to be about the brothers because you have Loki and Thor, kind of forming a necessary alliance. And then out of the blue, hey, it's me, Balder the Brave, the current king of hell and everything. Get in my sick-ass monster truck. Let's go and have an adventure.
Yeah, get in my Mad Max truck and let's go through hell and, like, kill shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, fucking sold, a million times sold.
Yeah, if that wasn't it, we're also getting this awesome, like, future story, which is kind of tied to that, like, to the Gates of Valhalla issue that came out between these, where we see, like, those the granddaughters of Thor, and we see older Thor who's, like, with the all-mother Jane Foster.
Yes, that's a fuck of a callback. Do you remember back in the original Thor run from Jason Aaron, we saw Old Man Thor, Earth had died, and he basically created an Adam and Eve on Earth, and he called them Jane and Steve after his two favorite people.
Yeah, and I got shit for calling her Jane, even though she is Jane.
Her name is Jane. He called them after his favorite people, Jane and Steve.
Yeah, and we get to see him with Mjolnir again, and Mjolnir. I like that he sends Mjolnir out into the galaxy to, like, look for stuff, because the galaxy's, like, all dead. There's nothing left in the galaxy. And he finds something. He finds a Phoenix-possessed Wolverine, which is so awesome.
So cool. And also so Jason Aaron, because it's like, oh, yeah, Jason Aaron loves Wolverine, too, because he wrote Wolverine for a bit. And, he, wrote Spider-Man Wolverine. So, of course, if given the ability, I'm going to give Wolverine the Phoenix Force, because why not?
Now, I wonder, like, I was kind of wondering this after I read it and did my review. I'm like, hey, so this Wolverine's got heated claws. So I wonder if this might tie into what Charles Soule's doing. Maybe they're, like, hinting at, like, the Phoenix, when it went away from Jean, it went to Logan.
Did the Phoenix bring Wolverine back?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be some shit.
Yeah, or like brought him back and is like inside of him now, which is why his claws like can like superheat and everything, and and he's able to contain it because of his powers and everything, his healing factors.
Right, it doesn't take him over completely because of his amazing godlike healing factor. He can keep it down.
Yeah.
And everything. Matt, I think you cracked the fucking code on this one.
If that ends up being true, holy shit.
If that ends up being true, everyone owes Matt a Coke for thinking of that one, because that's like really cool.
It's too cool.
It is too cool. Well, because it's like we've seen the Phoenix afterwards, but it can be like, no, it wasn't the whole Phoenix. It was just a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Which, even if you have just enough of God in you, and then be like, oh, but in the future, the little bit was joined with the rest of it, and that how he became like full Phoenix Wolverine.
And it kind of makes sense as well, because like the Phoenix has always had an infatuation with Jean, and so has Logan.
They have a lot to talk about. They have a lot in common. Oh, you love Jean. I love Jean too.
Exactly.
Let's just hang out in the white hot room and talk about like Jean and how great Jean is. And Wolverine's like, all right, bub, bring the beers. But yeah, Thor number 1 is great, everyone. Again, if you've been waiting on Thor these past 6 years, I don't know why you have been, but yeah, feel free to start here and work your way back.
Definitely.
There's a lot of material. What else did we have this week? I guess we could talk about, too, the ongoing The Man of Steel.
Yes, issue 3. We're halfway through the series now.
Which is hard to believe that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a short one, isn't it? This one kind of kicks shit into overdrive. This one actually kind of has a lot going on in it.
This is the least Bendis-y issue as well. This issue felt just like a Superman issue.
Very, very much so. It lacked a lot of his trickery. It lacked a lot of his chicanery and everything. This one was just kind of straightforward. And in a way, I think this was the one that finally put me over the edge on Rogol Zart, where I'm like, okay, you might actually be an interesting villain now.
Yeah, he's the real threat now.
He is, and he does it so simply, too, is the thing. And, of course, again, hey, massive spoilers, but, this will be out next Wednesday, so you'll have
and Joel already spoiled it in these video titles.
And I already spoiled it in my video because I wanted people to see the video, and they did. But, yeah, so Rogol Zart fucking destroys the bottle city of Kandor.
Yeah, and it, like... Yeah, he totally destroys it, kills everyone inside the city.
And it's amazing because it's like, wow, that really shows the level of cruelty and hate for Kryptonians, because it's like they weren't a threat to anyone. Their lives were already shitty. You didn't need to do that, Rogol Zart, but you did it just because. And he wrecks the Fortress of Solitude just because.
Yeah, because he hates Kryptonians for some unknown reason. We still don't know yet why.
We're getting closer to it, but it's like, wow, that's some real hate in you to go that far and to hurt these people who weren't a threat to anybody else just because you have a massive hate boner for Kryptonians. It also gives Supergirl a reason to be angry, and I can only imagine this is what's going to launch her into the Mark Andreyko book.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be like the jumping off point for his book as well. But yeah, I guess like Kandor's now fully destroyed. I thought originally like he was gonna like take Kandor and like use it as sort of like a thing to draw out Superman and Supergirl, and then like maybe destroy it in front of him, and that's how the book was gonna end. But yeah, I didn't expect that. Like couple of pages in, they just happen upon the city just smashed up and blood everywhere and everything.
It's funny, too. It goes to show, how little they've actually used Kandor. I had people in my comment section be like, did they bring that back in the New 52? Was that a thing? I didn't read Superman. I'm like, yeah. It was in some Batman-Superman crossovers. Yeah, Kandor was a thing.
Yeah, but I don't know whether it would be the same Kandor because the Superman Reborn and...
Yeah, it got fused. I'm guessing the Kandors got fused, too. And yeah, there's some discontinuity there. But look, Kandor's destroyed is the thing. Whether or not it was important, whether or not it was the same Kandor you remember, Kandor got fucked up, and everyone's really bummed about it.
Yeah, we also got a little bit more on like what's happening with Lois and John, and that thing that I thought, and probably a lot of people thought was a bomb, wasn't a bomb. It was like a pod with someone in it.
Yeah, someone with little elfie shoes. To I'm like, is that a new god? Is that Black Adam? Is that like Lex Luthor from the future?
I think it's either gonna it's gonna be one of three people. It's going to be Brainiac, mainly because behind him they had like 3 dot and it was green, and it's going to be Lex Luthor, probably from a future or something, and that could tie in as well to that Action Comics special that had the future Lex Luthor in it.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be one of those, one of the members of the Circle, that council that, and they've come to Earth because they knew that's where, because Superman was there and everything, and he's like, look, we're going to help you, we'll keep you safe, and Superman's like, no, take my family, I'll stay on Earth.
That would be interesting, and that would be a way where it's like, all right, Bendis, all right, you wrote the family out, but you gave a reason to write them out. You didn't kill them. Like, other writers can use them if they want.
Yeah, I don't think they will kill them, especially since like Bendis has teased
so.
like stories that he's got for like a future John and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was very interesting, and I do like now that they're doing that. Like every issue, we get like a little continuation of it.
More, yeah.
So I guess by like the end, we'll see who it is.
You know what, Bendis? I was a little salty. I was a little hard to love again, but I am slowly but surely coming around to your Superman run. Don't fuck it up after 2 volumes, which you love to do.
Yeah, please just finish the series on a high note before you go into Superman and action.
Yeah, don't just be like, and I blew my wad everywhere and I have nothing left.
Yeah, what do we do now?
Yeah, let's not have 2 years of me and Matt being like, yeah, but Man of Steel was good.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, let's not as like think wistfully back to the summer of 2018 when Man of Steel was good. But yeah, it was pretty all right. What else did you have, Matt?
We had Detective Comics issue 982.
Didn't get around to this yet. This is the Black Lightning one, right, from Edward Hill?
No, that remember got pushed back.
Oh shit, it did too. But what is this now?
This is a 1-issue filler that is better than any writer it has to be. I can't remember the writer's name. Is Michael something?
Oh, Morrissey.
Yeah, something like that. And he's writing a really cool.
They solicited this one out of nowhere.
He's writing a really cool one-off sort of horror sort of magical issue about Batman investigating a missing child case, and it brings him into contact with Deacon Blackfire.
Oh, holy shit, from the cult.
Yeah, and again, he started a cult and he needs this kid to sort of help turn Gotham on itself, kind of, because he thinks there's a curse on Gotham, the Gotham City curse.
Very much like the original cult.
Yes, and he thinks that like no matter what Batman does, the city will always be bad, and he's trying to embrace that sort of stuff. And
let me ask you this: is Deacon Blackfire a dude in this again, or is he a weird flaming skeleton like he was in Batman Eternal?
He's a ghost.
Oh, he's a ghost. Yeah. Okay.
And what I really like as well is that Batman is legitimately afraid of him.
As you should be, because there's a fucking ghost and he was an asshole when he was alive.
And they do a really good way of explaining it, because like Batman isn't too sure whether he's a metahuman or whether he is legit like a spooky ghost person or something. So he doesn't know, so he's really worried about him.
Is Batman acting like he's meeting him for the first time?
No, he knows him. Since he knows a little bit about him.
So the cult is canon.
Yeah, it seems to imply that the cult is canon.
That's cool. Okay, see, now I'm really interested to read this now, because that little one-off.
Yeah, and it's just Batman like dealing with like Deacon's like effect on his mind, which shows him like this burning Gotham, this hellscape Gotham, led by this kid who Deacon wants to possess to become, to get a corporeal body again and lead like his cult and everything. And what pulls him out of it is Batman remembers that he has a family that he saved, and they save him, and all that sort of really cool stuff that like make Batman like a really cool character. The stuff that you don't see in a Tom King book.
That I agree with you, Matt. That does sound better than any swiftly commissioned one-off filler issue should be.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good.
Hey, here's hoping Michael Morrissey gets more DC work.
Yeah, more Batman work. It was really good. He has a really good handle on the character.
It's like every couple of years they try and do a paranormal Batman book, like Batwoman was their paranormal Batman book for a minute, but they just never seem to stick to it.
This one, like if they continued with it, it would be really good.
What was the other one you really liked? Gotham by Midnight, Gotham at Midnight.
Yeah, that one had Batman as like a side character, but still it was really good.
Yeah, right on. I'm happy to hear that. I'm super excited to read that now.
Yeah.
Another book I had this week, Venom #2.
Yeah, how was that? How was the Super Soldier Venoms?
Super Soldier continues to actually, again, be better than it probably has any right to be. Donny Cates is writing it like a real book.
He's writing it like it matters.
He's writing it like a real book. The majority of this issue is actually given over to the flashback of Rex Strickland, the guy who kind of hired Eddie Brock to investigate the Sim Soldier program, and we get to see him back in the Nom, and how he was a badass soldier who let VC snipers shoot him up so his his teammates could escape. and like Nick Fury Jr. saw it, and he's like, "This fucking dope. That guy's badass as shit. Tell you what, let's drag him back here through the napalm. We got this alien goo we found from like, you know, Viking times. We don't really know what it does, but let's rub it all over him and see if it makes him even more badass." And it does. Only this wasn't any alien goo, though. This alien goo belonged to the symbiote god, who might also be Grendel from Viking times.
Oh, no.
And here's the thing, like, the symbiote god, it is, I shit you not, a giant black gooey symbiote. Yes.
Oh my god.
It can also manipulate other symbiotes, so they grow like these weird red veiny protrusions and like start speaking in an alien language, and he takes them over and everything, and Eddie's like trying to fight it super hard and everything. It is the definition of hardcore, but it is like the good version of that.
It's competent hardcore.
It is competent hardcore. And it's what I love about this too, and why I think this works, is that Donny Cates clearly likes Venom, but he is not in love with Eddie Brock. And in fact, Rex Strickland pretty much exists to talk nonstop shit about Eddie Brock. Where he's like, okay, so let me get this straight. So you were a kid, your dad was mean to you, your mom died, you were a journalist, but you took the wrong lead, then you got fired, then you were a villain, then you were a hero, then you were, you know, this, that, and the other thing, and there was like a million other toxins. Holy shit, Eddie Brock, forget the lethal protector. They should call you the man of a million second chances.
It's
and
true.
I'm like, yeah.
It's true.
I'm like, yeah. Why does he keep getting so many second chances when he seems to throw them all away in universe? Thank you, one character, for realizing this. But yeah, Venom continues to be fun. And the next issue, they even promise a fun team up because, you know, all the other heroes catch wind of this goddamn symbiote dragon attacking New York City. And Venom's like, oh, no, they're not going to know how to deal with that. This is a symbiote problem. I'll have to get in on this. And then as he runs to the fight, he runs into Miles Morales. And Miles is like, hey. And he's like, hey. So we're going to have a Miles Eddie team up for the next issue, which kind of made me stop and think, like, have Miles and Eddie met each other?
Yeah, I don't think they have. I'm sure they probably have, but yeah. I can't think of anything.
I know Miles has met Flash a bunch.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff. I wonder if he's met Eddie yet. Which is funny because obviously Miles had his own weird run-ins with Venoms over on his universe. The symbiote killed his mom before she got brought back.
Mm-hmm.
But Miles might not remember that, but maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on who's writing him at the time.
Writers seem to play fast and loose with what Miles remembers and doesn't remember from the Ultimate Universe, if he remembers anything. Sometimes he doesn't. But yeah, Venom continues to be cool as shit, bro. It's fucking hardcore, and I love it.
That does sound really cool.
It is. Like, it is the best version of Venom that we've gotten in a long time. And yes, it kind of disregards a bunch of stuff that came before, even this idea where it's like, wait, the symbiote god is evil? But I thought Bendis wrote that the symbiotes weren't evil, just misunderstood, and they took on the personalities of whoever wore them. But their god is evil. But shut up, Bendis wrote that, and he's not here anymore. Symbiotes are evil again. Deal with it. But yeah, that was that one. What else did you have, Matt? I only had a couple more.
I had Hawkman issue 1.
Okay, how was this? See, I picked this up, but I didn't read it. I could have read Hawkman for work, or I could have read Plastic Man for work, and I read Plastic Man because it was Gail Simone.
Hawkman was pretty good. It's Carter Hall back. He's back doing his Indiana Jones thing, doing tomb raiding and
as he should,
fighting giant winged three-eyed apes.
Sweet.
He's trying to steal what's it called, the Nautilus of Revealment, and the main reason he wants to steal that is he wants to take it to Madame Xanadu and get her to use her magic mojo to reveal his past, his true past, because that's what this device does. It reveals one's true past, and he wants to know about it since he's had quite a few of them. Basically what Robert Venditti does is say, oh, they're all canon.
As you should. I mean, if you're going to be writing Hawkman, that's what you have to do.
He even seeks to imply there's new ones that he never knew about, like
oh, that's smart.
Like Qatar Ol of Krypton.
that is so smart, because if it's all canon and if he's lived so many lives, you basically have a blank check to do whatever you want.
Yeah, and they show all these lives, and then they show him the future, which shows like giant winged beings destroying Earth. And for a minute there, I'm thinking, oh fuck, is this Future's End? What the hell's going on here? Because it looks like it looks like the giant brainiacs and everything, like shrouded in mist.
And Vendetti helped write that book, I'm pretty sure. No, don't let you be the one guy who loved Future's End. No, bad.
I don't think it is. I think at 16 play there's going to be some big Thanagarian war or something happening.
That's cool. Those are always good.
But yeah, and he wants to know like about his future and like his past and everything. But Xanadu doesn't know, but she's sure that like to find that out, he's going to die 100 more times. So maybe we'll get like issues where he just like dies and then regenerates as something else or something, and you can go through his future and his past and everything. That'd be really cool.
Again, I kept saying you should do Hawkman by way of Highlander. You should do a 6-issue miniseries, and he dies at the end of every one.
Yeah, and then the next issue is like, here he is as Prince Khufu or something.
Yeah, here he is in the French Renaissance, like just Assassin's Creed that shit.
Yeah, and they even hint that like that might be happening, because he like mentions lies. Oh, I was a gunslinger in the Old West. I was.
Yes, he was.
I was a pirate. I was all of this stuff.
He was Nighthawk in the Old West. Actually, he hung out with Jonah Hex, and his partner Hawkgirl was Cinnamon. They were Nighthawk and Cinnamon.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get like a journey through that. That'd be really cool.
They should, yeah, exactly. Every issue should be like like a little anthology piece there, with just having Hawkman to tie it together. That's good. I'm happy that's good.
Yeah, and I was kind of worried about what they were going to do with it for a minute there, but they made it really cool.
Because no Hawkman book ever seems to last.
Yeah, though he's had quite a few. He's had six solo series since
they take a crack at him. Yeah, they take a crack at him every so often. Someone always thinks they can crack the code. I guess from one new DC #1 to another, I read Plastic Man this week from Gail Simone. Obviously, I was super gung-ho and super on board for this one.
And what was that like?
It tries to do a lot. I get the distinct feeling there was some real lack of communication going on between Simone and DC and what they wanted with this book.
Like they forgot that he was on a team book at the moment.
Yes, they forgot that. They forgot that Jeff Johns actually created a new origin for Eel O'Brien in Forever Evil. Then they just forgot about it forever. This seems to be like, okay, Gail, reintroduce Plastic Man in 2018 to a new set of DC readers. Okay, am I doing his origin again? There was already an origin. Yes, do his origin over again, even if that creates a lot of problems. Doing it again and doing it now. Like, do his origin, but also make it seem like he's been around for a long time too.
Oh no.
They really can't seem to decide, is this his first outing, or is he just reliving an adventure that is very similar to his origin?
Yeah, so yeah, it probably could have been like changed if like they had like a shell story where he's like, I remember this, and then it cuts to that story or something.
Like, I feel like maybe Snyder spoke up and being like, no, he's only appeared in the Egg. That's the first time we've ever seen him, when he was Egg Guy. But Jeff Johns is like, no, but I did a thing for Forever Evil. I created him. I gave him the accident, and I gave Eel O'Brien. Just no one ever did anything with it. And they're like, well, fuck it. Let's just start from scratch then.
Yeah, and then the Terrifics is like his first appearance out of the Egg. And he can't leave that team because they're all tethered together. And if they leave, they'll explode.
Yeah, and that's a problem, too. Because, like, okay, well, if this is his origin then how does he eventually get into the Egg? Then how far in the past is this? And how is anything, and just it's a lot to take in. Like, it's way more complicated and way more to think about than a Plastic Man book should be.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm kind of glad I didn't pick it up.
Like, the question is, though, is it funny? Yes, there's some funny lines in it, but it feels like comedically Simone had her hands tied, because she's like, well, fuck, I need to give him a new status quo. I need to do the origin. I need to do all these other good writer things first before I get to even making with the laugh. I'm hoping issue 2 will be better, because she's finally gotten all that shit out of the way. But no, I did not love issue 1, and that broke my heart.
No, that sucks.
it kind of broke my heart, and that was unfortunate. Also, she pulls Spiral and Obscura out, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about those guys. I like them. So this, wait, if Spiral's still a thing, then when is this now? And it's a whole thing. It's sad. It's sad because I love Gail Simone and I like Plastic Man, and I wanted to love this, and I didn't love it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But you know what I did love, Matt? And I think you liked it too. Marvel 2-in-1 Annual.
I did like this. This is a really good book.
The best send-off for infamous Iron Man Doctor Doom that he got. Don't read the end of Iron Man. Just read this.
Yeah, just skip that last issue.
Just jump right on over to this because, again, it's Marvel 2-in-1, but it's all about Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and him sort of realizing that he's definitely not the Doom that we know, and he's different, and that he's a hero now, and he ends up fighting basically himself.
Yes, he fights an evil version of himself on the multiversal trip that Thing and Human Torch have been on. He meets the Council of Reeds, but not the old Council of Reeds, a new Council of Reeds that's trying to right the problems of the old one.
Yeah, and as well, like, they also brought in, like, something that I imagine might be used to bring back the 616 universe Reed, and that is, like, the Reed on this Doctor Doom's Earth is killed, but he was in the wherever place the council is, and they say that it makes a copy, and this copy will go back to that body, and the memories will sync up and everything. So they're trying to find him a new body. They
built a device so no Reed ever had to abandon his family like they did in the old council.
Yeah, so that could be a way that they could bring back the 616 Reed. That seems to be like what Chip was hinting at, like, to set that up, because he made a point of, like, saying how it worked and everything.
There was that, and there's also Doom definitively, like, Doom was like, they're dead, Thing. I know they're dead. They're all dead. You're lying to Johnny. Only he sees this, and that puts it into question where it's like, oh, shit, but I saw him at the end of Secret Wars. I just didn't remember seeing him.
Yeah, you see Reed wipe his memory and give him, like, that fresh start that put him on the road to being a hero.
Yeah, but that kind of pisses him off, too, because he's like, well, fuck, then if that was the case, then how do I know my choice was really my choice to do that? How do I know Richards didn't fuck with me from afar? Oh my god, I hate Richards so much. I hate every Richards. And then it's like, oh, and that's your problem, Dr. Doom. Even when you're good, you can't get rid of this mean streak, and you can't get rid of this inferiority complex when it comes to Reed Richards.
Yeah, he's still bad no matter what against Reed.
Even when he does good, even when everything is going his way, he just cannot let it go. And I'm like, you know what? This, more than anything else, does a better job of explaining his backslide into villainy, which is no doubt happening.
Oh, yeah, that's totally happening.
Not the way Bendis did it, where it's like, well, his face got ugly again and he decided to be bad again. Because only pretty people can be good, don't you know?
I like to think that, like, Chip wrote that and it's like, that's so stupid. I'm gonna make the villain, the Doctor Doom villain in this, basically Bendis's, because he had, like, the fucked up face and everything, and
yes, he did.
And he just basically beat him to death.
It feels very much like a rebuttal to that in many ways. This story does, where it's like, no, ignore that. This is what actually happened.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really cool annual. Really cool.
Yes, it was. And again, continues to show what I was saying, that Marvel 2-in-1 is one of the best books on the shelf right now. It's almost a shame it has to end to make room for Fantastic Four, the main one.
It does. I reckon it'd be cool if it would continue with the same writers and everything, but, like, another, like, 2-person team.
Characters, yeah. I wonder who it would be. I would actually like to see Chip Zdarsky take a crack at, like, Marvel 2-in-1, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage.
Or here you go, keep it in the Fantastic Four family and make it Franklin and Val.
That's actually really good. And yeah, kind of like young it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And make it like for kids. I dig that. That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really
cool. There's a lot of places you could go. That also, that character, Dr. Rachna, who will either stick around or will be revealed to be the ultimate villain of this series.
Yeah. I don't know what her end game is. As Doom said, she's not looking for, like, Sue and Reed. She's there for her own purposes.
I love Doom, how he riddles that out and says that to the Thing, where he's like, look, I'm smart enough to figure this shit out, and she's definitely smart enough to figure this out, and one scheming liar to another. I know when you're being played and you're being played. It was really good. Yeah, Marvel 2-in-1 kicks ass. It's great.
It does.
I had one last book. What about you?
Yeah, I got one last one, and that is New Superman and the Justice League of China issue 24, which is the
I had a different one than you.
It's the final issue.
Oh, really? They're done for good now? They're not bringing it back as anything else?
Not as we know. Not as New Superman. I think maybe we'll see those characters again somewhere, but this series is done now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That explains something. I was actually working on a Superman project with DC that kind of fell through, and I think I see why now. Because one of their notes to me was like, hey, can you talk more about New Superman and the Justice League of China? I guess if it's done, that's why it went away.
Yeah, but they got to actually finish the story. It wasn't just like an abrupt ending. They got to finish it, and it ended with Keaton trying to get into the realm of Ghost to free his master. In doing so, he pulls the Justice League of China in with him, and they end up fighting like future versions of themselves, which are all villains.
Shit.
And then he finds the future version of himself, which is a villain called Perfect Man. Since he found the perfect balance between yin and yang, which is what Keenan has been trying to do the whole series. And yeah, he fights him. I Ching says this isn't his future because he will find a balance for that balance. It's really kind of strange and goes into all the Asian
it
yin
sounds
and yang
very
sort of
zen,
stuff. Yeah, but it was a really cool book. It was about Keenan sort of learning to let go of what his parents did to him and sort of be his own person, and as I Ching put it, not use the goodness that was, but use the goodness that is.
I like that. That's very Yoda. That's very cosmic Bruce Lee. Be like water.
Yeah, it really was. It was a really great book. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to see the book transitioned over into being called New Superman and the Justice League of China, but we never really got to see the Justice League of China working as a team. We did see it here and there, but a lot of the book was kind of getting the team together. The last arc was about getting their Aquaman, and then it just kind of ended.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but again, it was really more of a solo book for Keenan, so I'm glad it stuck that.
It had a run to be proud of by the sounds of it. And again, too, as I mentioned before, some young kid out there is reading this right now and said, wow, that was awesome, New Superman and the Justice League of China. When I become a writer one day, I'm going to bring them back.
Yeah, and they could definitely come back somewhere. I know Keenan was referenced in Doomsday Clock, just gone. So he's still around, and that writer as well. He's still getting where he's doing stuff for DC Zoom.
Oh yes, that's right, that whole thing.
Yeah, he's writing a Superman story called Superman Smashes the Klan.
Yes, which is a take on the classic Superman versus the Klan radio play.
Yeah, and it looks really awesome.
It does. I saw that. The art style, everything, is very children's book. There's a Mira one, there's a Super Sons one, but that one kind of looks throwback to old 1950s art.
Yeah, I don't care if it's for middle schoolers. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, again, as you should, because that's a story, especially nowadays. Hey, Superman fighting hate and fighting, the KKK. I think people need that story now more than ever.
Yeah.
Especially when the history of the story of the radio play, where the dude infiltrated the Klan and wrote the writers of the radio Superman show because he was such a fan, and they're like, holy shit, we got to do something about this. And Superman as a fictional character fought real world evil and won. Yeah,
it was one of those first stories that something like that ever happened.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story.
First topical story, really.
Absolutely. That's why it pisses me off so much when they're like, oh, I hate when people put so much politics in their comics. I'm like, motherfucker, do we need to sit down and have a history lesson? I think we do. If I didn't think it would, get demonetized right away, I wanted to do the top 10 great times comic books got political or topical or whatever. But again, I can only imagine the comment section would turn into a goddamn sewer on that one.
Oh, yes.
Because don't they always? But yeah, that sounds good, man. I'm glad you liked that Superman thing, and I'm glad they got something of a send-off for him.
Yeah.
Last book I read here was Batman Prelude to the Wedding Part 3, Batgirl versus Riddler #1.
I haven't done a review on it, but I have read it.
Yeah, this was a weird one. This was kind of the awkward middle child of this series.
A little bit. It was good, but yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was a little all over the place. It's funny, we tore a strip out of Tom King last week for his Joker book, because it's like, wow, so Joker talks for 20 pages and says, and Batman says nothing. They basically do the same thing here, but they do it better and with reason.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Riddler talks for 20 pages because he has to, because the story is him reciting the riddles. Batgirl doesn't say anything because she's actually working on solving the riddles in her head, and if she stops to talk, that'll be time she loses.
Yeah, and she's got like the headphones on listening to the riddles and just doing her work and everything.
Yeah. Riddler stories have got to be really hard on writers because you need to research riddles, have them make sense, and have them work in the story.
Yeah, I can imagine it wouldn't be very easy.
No, and like so much of a Riddler story is like, okay, well, we can't really have an action beat here because Batman needs to hear the riddle. He needs to think about it. He needs to talk about it to someone about why he's so smart. And you basically turn it into a Sherlock Holmes story at that point. Where it's like, well, where do we break it down here? Where's the action scene? Where's the whatever? This one kind of has an interesting solution to that. Like we say, it's that, basically Batgirl hits the ground running and doesn't stop the whole issue.
Literally.
Literally, yeah, and the whole thing is wedding themed. Riddler has kidnapped 4 people related to a wedding. A priest, a florist, a DJ, and like a ring bearer kid, and like he puts them all in saw death traps. And Batgirl has to solve them. And you're probably wondering, it's like, well, why the fuck does Riddler care about fucking with Batgirl? Isn't it Batman's wedding? And the whole thing there is that, he's like, oh, when the Joker kicked my ass and talked about the wedding, it got me thinking about my own life and love and everything. And if I could settle down with someone, but they would have to be as smart as me. They would have to be able to solve my riddles. And you did, Barbara. This is my own fucked up way of flirting.
Yeah, that was kind of like really weird when I was reading that. This is kind of weird.
It's a little gross, to which someone says, like, why does every villain want to stalk Batgirl? I'm like, I know, right? They all get weird infatuations with her. But, Batgirl saves the day and everything, and she gets a moment with her father. And I guess if there was a theme of this one, it had to break down because, the last issue was like the bachelor party, and then the other one was like the bachelorette party and like how kids deal with new marriages. This was like the finding the date for the wedding, and this was like the ultimate solution to this was Batgirl calls up Dick and says, hey, will you be my date to the wedding? And I'm like, I don't know if that needed a whole story to itself, but I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I could see this only being like part of like a larger story, and like as we've been saying, like these should have been like in the actual Batman book. And
yes.
This one really should have, like, this along with the other ones could have been like a really fun issue. It's like, oh, who do the Bat family take to the wedding as dates?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't bigger than that, but yeah, it was ultimately fine. And the big stinger at the end is that they build up for the Harley Quinn crossover that's coming, and that's going to be the next one.
Yeah.
Which that's fun. And then Red Hood gets one too, and then that's basically it.
Yeah, all the good story is over.
Yeah, then we got to go back to the main Batman book and see how it shakes out.
Yeah, well, we do next week, or this week, so, because... the first issue.
Today, as people listen to this, because I released the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, we'll tell you all about that one, everyone. Hopefully Joker doesn't talk for 20 pages and say nothing.
Oh, guess what? He's got to talk.
For 20 pages. No, he's going to talk for 30 pages now because it's a special.
And then Catwoman will just like kick him in the face and it'll like kill him.
Yeah, winner is you.
Blast him back into like the multiverse or something. I don't know.
There you go. Hit him so hard. Oh, hey, speaking of Jokers, we talk about forever when the hell are they going to do the 3 Jokers? Well, apparently with Jeff Johns stepping down as president of DC, he's going to have time to tell that story now.
Yeah, in a book called 3 Jokers.
3 Jokers. We're like, has it really been that long? Or are you worried people might forget it? So it's literally just called 3 Jokers. When are they going to answer the 3 Joker question? In the book, 3 Jokers. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, this is good branding. I can't complain. Also, hey, as we talked about Batgirl too, Batgirl's getting a new costume, and it's designed by the dude who did White Knight.
Yeah, it's basically a White Knight costume.
It's fine. It's not as good as the White Knight costume, and I like it better than the one she has now, if only because it's different and I've been clamoring for it. But even then, as soon as I saw it changed, I had like a twinge of nostalgia where I'm like, oh, the purple one wasn't so bad. And then I'm like, no, don't be that guy who's afraid of change. Don't be that guy.
No, the new costume looks really cool, and she's got like a new motorbike and everything.
Which I'm sure that will signal a new change in her book too, probably.
Probably.
Because I think Birds of Prey either ended or is going to end, so it's just going to be the main Batgirl book now, which they're probably going to rework and turn into something else post-wedding.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it, everyone. I guess that's basically the show. We're heading up on our hour 30 time, which we normally always have.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah, I thought we got some good stuff done there. I sweat like James Gandolfini over here on one of the hottest days in here. I have the door open right now to try and get a breeze. Nothing's happening. And again, because I'm staying at my aunt's house, I don't fucking know if she has air conditioning. I don't know where to work it. She's in goddamn Peru. I can't call her and ask her. I guess I'm just going to be hot tonight. But yes, so thank you everyone for watching and listening. We hope you had a good time listening as we did, talking about all the stuff. Thank you to new patrons. I saw a couple of your names pop up in the thing there. Actually, here, if you wait a second, I can get some names here. Mason was one of the new ones. Thank you always, people who are able to open their hearts and their wallet and support us there. We always appreciate it. It's what allows me to pay Matt and keep the show online and everything over at SoundCloud, which you can listen to and carry the show around with you all the time. And if you are a patron, you can listen to the show first before anyone else. We try and upload it as soon as we're done here on Sunday night. And that was basically it.
Awesome.
So any parting thoughts, Matt? Anything else to say? Anything else you got coming down the old pipeline?
Not really. I got a heap of comics to catch up on. So they're going to keep me busy for the next couple of days. But yeah, keep an eye on our channels for our comic reviews and videos and everything we do.
Most def. All right then, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and we will be back again next Wednesday. So until then, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.